Hello everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon video. This time I'll be ranking the Gen 3 Pokemon on a tier list. I didn't want to do Gen 2 because those were all pretty bad, so I don't think it would be that interesting because I just put a bunch of them in D tier and F tier. So now we're going to do Gen 3, because most of these are okay, I would say. Alright. I will be including the megas because I guess they're on the tier list. Yeah. Alright, so I might just do like the whole evolution line as like an average. And I'll just say like the last one. Like for example for the Trico, I might just say like, okay, this guy goes, A or whatever. And then these two I won't really rank. Because last time the video went a bit long. Okay, so to start, I think all the starters from Gen 3 are pretty good. I mean, just like in terms of design. I put them in, middle A tier. The Mega Evolutions, they're pretty cool. Actually, I think doing the Megas might not be that great. Because I would just rank them the same most of the time. Yeah. Okay, so let's just put them all in A tier, and then we can decide the order. So overall, the Trico line, people often complain about the middle evolution, the middle stage. And Trico is a case where the middle stage is actually very solid. It's like a good transition. Whereas, these two, not that great. Like the design of Combuskin is a bit too round, and the middle one from Marshtomp is also, I think, too round. So let's see. The design overall, I would say Sceptile wins. And then, well, Blaziken is, one of the best of all time. I might actually place this in S tier. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Now, Marshtomp is very solid in like, I guess I would say like, just in terms of doing your clear of the game. But for me, the design is a bit weird. Although it's still very solid because of the stats. And, it's a starter, so. Alright, next, the Poochyena, the Hyena line. I would say, like, not that great. I might just put it in a B or something. To be honest, I don't really know too much about Gen 3. Like all of the Pokemon, like I know Gen 1. I did play the original games in Emerald. Or that version of the game in Emerald. And I also played the remake. I played Omega Ruby. But I don't think these guys were really the main characters of it for the most part. Okay, anyway. So I would put that in B tier. It's like the bad guys use this as the grunts always pull this out. And also it's like the bikers for some reason use it. Zigzagoon and Lanoon. I mean, they're pretty good at using HMs. This is like the ideal HM user on your team. So, but I mean, actually, no one really cares about having them. So, C tier it is. I think this is called Wormpole. Wormpole, and then like the cocoon, and then whatever that is, the butterfly. No one really uses bug Pokemon, and I'm no exception to that. So, I mean, I don't really care about them. They're just kind of like fodder like XP for Blaziken, which, you know, I did pick because it's fire type. Um, or like you could have your Talo farm it. Yeah, I would just put this in maybe even D, but the design is pretty cool. It does change it up by adding, you know, the beak thing on top to make it different from Butterfree. And then the other gender, I don't even know what this is called. I think it's called like Dustox. I don't like the design. It's just like another bug Pokemon. Whatever. Okay, Lotad. Okay, this line, I think there were like um people from Latin America that were upset about this, or I don't know, people upset on their behalf. Um but as a Pokemon, if you don't take into account like the cultural aspect, I think it's pretty solid. I mean, the middle stage is pretty weird. Um but I mean, it kind of looks interesting, so I'd put it in maybe high C tier. Yeah. Okay, now this C dot, and then whatever those are. I would say the final one is pretty solid. The middle stage, kind of like Pinocchio looking. I think that's fine. You know, I don't know too much about the stats for all of these, but I would assume this guy has like maybe total base like 480, 490. That's just my assumption though. I would say he uses like Razor Leaf or something as his main attack. And for grass types, I more prefer like having Giga Drain rather than being physical. So also just fodder for Blaziken. I think he's fighting type. But still not that great. Okay. But if he was like grass fighting, he would just be like double weak to flying, which is not a great thing to be. Okay, now Talo. So this line I think is very solid. The design is cool. It is just a Robin though. I think that's based on a Robin or a Swallow. I think probably a Swallow. Um, but anyway, I do like the design more than Pidgeot, so I think I put Pidgeot in B. I might put this in like high B. Okay, Wingull and then the Pelican. I really do not like this guy, so he's just really annoying to deal with. Like, way too tanky. You need like an electric type to deal with it. Um, Also, like, you just run into it too many times while you're surfing, which is really annoying. I put this maybe even in the same tier as Dustox. Okay. Um, Gardevoir, I don't think they added Gallade. Okay. But Gardevoir, I think is very solid. I put it in A tier. It's kind of like the Abra because of this generation. Because it's like, you know, psychic type. It's what's it called? Special attack. Yeah. Um so psychic has always been like a great type. So I would say, you know, A tier. Better design than Marshtomp, so put it there. Okay, now this thing, I don't know if this evolves into that. I assume so. I've never seen this guy, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Um, I do know this guy appeared in the Gen 6 anime. I thought it was a Gen 6 Pokemon, but I guess I've just never seen it. I think it's relatively rare. But the design, I think it's Ice Bug. Can't remember the name right now, but definitely not high tier. I would say like very mid. Maybe even worse, because it's kind of a bad design even, because it's just like a circle with 4 legs on it. Yeah, not very interesting. Okay, now Breloom. I think this is called Breloom. And Shroomish. Um, Very solid. If you want to catch Pokemon, this is grass fighting, by the way. If you want to catch Pokemon, grass type has always been like, if you want to catch Pokemon, then you put them to sleep with the grass type, like sleep powder or something, and then you just throw a Pokeball at it, obviously. Um, so having this guy in your team helps you catch more Pokemon. It's also quite solid in the stat department, I think. It's good for, I guess. I mean, it's not that strong. It's not like Blaziken level. I guess the fighting type kind of becomes irrelevant if you have Blaziken, but having a grass type still helps you with water types, which there's a lot of, since it's Hoenn. Hoenn has too much water. There's too much surfing, and I mean sometimes I just don't feel like using a repel, so I just kind of get annoyed with running into all of the water types, and this guy definitely helps with that. So I would put it in maybe high B tier or low A tier. Depends. We'll see what other stuff gets added. Okay, this guy, way too annoying. I mean, if you have him on your team, it's one of those situations where it's like, in a game where you're playing against someone else and they're using a character that you really dislike because you can't figure out a way to beat them. But then when you play that character, you realize it's actually kind of hard. Slacking is that character. So it's like you don't want to play against it and you don't want to play as it either. Because he doesn't move every other turn. He just like does whatever he wants. I think that's his ability, Truant. So I'm gonna put him like low D tier. It's not F tier because the base stats are great. In fact, like I think really high. But the ability makes it pretty bad. Okay, now the Ninjask and forgot what that's called. But the guy with 1 HP. Let's see. I think it's Bug Ghost, and Ninjask is like either Bug Flying or Bug Dark or Bug Fighting. I forgot. But I think the design, just based on that, is very high for this guy. And then this guy, I think it's more of like this kind of design, like high B tier. Yeah, I can't really judge based on their abilities in battle because I normally just don't use bug types unless it's like Scizor or I mean Scyther. That's one of the only good bug types to ever come out. Because like bugs are just not too interesting for me. Okay, next, this guy is pretty bad. This guy's annoying because he shows up in the caves. This guy also shows up in caves, and I don't even know what that guy does. Just overall annoying. This design, the sumo wrestler, I would say very solid, but actually more like a C tier. Maybe even after all of these guys. Okay. Let's see. The baby Pokemon, I don't really care. I mean, it's kind of cute, so maybe. Okay, the nose guy, from Toy Story. I would say the design kind of meme, but I guess it would be similar to Sombrero guy. After, because very low poly. Okay, I know I'm like making these decisions very arbitrarily, but um, I guess it's more like a design tier list now instead of like actual viability. Okay. Del Caddy and Skittles or whatever the name is for this previous evolution. Um, mm, Not great. I never had it on my team because, I mean, I don't really like normal types at all, so just there would be fine. This guy looks like the the cattail plant from Plants vs Zombies, so I guess that's a bonus point. Okay, and then this guy, I think his design is very interesting, so up there. His stats I think are okay. I don't know why they gave it a mega, but whatever. Mawile, too weak to fire, and it's kind of creepy. Although it is pretty cool to have like the hair be a mouth. I think, um, there was a movie where they based a character off of this, or maybe it was always it's always like been in folklore, like someone with a mouth in the back of their head or like in their hair. Forgot what that was called, the movie. I think it was like about children who had strange abilities and then they were all kept on an island because there would be like Slender Man outside trying to get on the island to kill them. But anyway, that movie was, I would rate that movie 7 out of 10, like B tier, maybe even high C tier. Um anyway, this character, this Pokemon, uh probably like there. Okay. Rhydon? No wait, this is not Rhydon. This is Argon or Aragon? Aron, I don't know the name. Anyway, great character. I would say probably there. Very tanky, obviously. Great design. Reminds me of Nidoking. Probably why I like it so much. Anyway, whatever this thing is, I don't even know. Psychic fighting type. Not too interested. The legs are too big. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in with this guy. Maybe ahead of him. Although that guy does look pretty interesting. Whatever. That's what he gets for being in the same line as this guy. Okay. Okay, Electrike and whatever that guy is, very solid. I put them over here. The Mega Evolution is pretty bad though. Like that's a very weird design. Like they just drew like a Thunderbolt and then they like added some legs on it. Not too great. Okay, I'm gonna put these together, Minun and Plusle. I think they never should have added these, because it's just like, oh, they're buddies with Pikachu and Pichu, but like, why do they exist? There's like no reason because they don't evolve into anything. It'd be cool if like when you caught both of them, they like join into one, but like call it like Neutron or something. Neutral, yes. Neutrle. Yeah, that's what they can call it. Okay. Anyway, F tier, both of them. They do teach you about like ions and stuff though, so plus a point for science. Okay, now whatever this is, the fireflies. I don't know if they're different Pokemon, like if they're like different gender, but like it's just like they're both so pointless. I'll just put them together in case they're not the same Pokemon. I mean, they look like about the same, so I don't think they're evolutions. Okay. Now, Roselia, I think is the name. Okay design, but very bad overall. I don't think it has an evolution judging from where it's placed. I'd put it there. Okay, whatever this is, not great. The shark? I kind of like it actually. Sharkpedo or something. Yeah. How did this guy get in front? How did Sableye get in front of the hyena? I don't know. Whatever. Whalmer and Whalelord. I never had a Whalelord because I didn't really see the point. I think he's just like really tanky, and that's about it. So the design is also kind of lazy, like it's just like a big whale, so, or like even less detail than I would expect, so probably maybe not F tier, maybe like over here. Okay, Camerupt is like literally the, what is his name? The Magcargo of this generation. Like Magcargo from generation 2. This is it. Because it's like a really lame fire type that no one would ever use. Over like the starter. So I'm just gonna put it in like over here. Not letting me. Okay, there we go. Torkoal, same deal, but even worse because like literally a turtle or a tortoise. I mean, like Blastoise is a tortoise, but you can see the difference between how much you would want them on your team. The coolness factor. I'm noticing a lot of F tiers. I think these evolve from each other. I've never seen this pig though. I think it's more recent. I forgot what it's called, but they are going to go also in F tier. No one would ever want that. Spinda, kind of boring, but maybe not F tier. I would say like over there. Okay, now this line is pretty cool. Forgot the name of this guy, but very solid. I think he gets access to dragon type moves in the new game. Sorry for forgetting the names, by the way, but a lot of these are not that memorable. I mean, this guy I should know his name, but I just forgot it, so unfortunate. But I would put it high. Okay, moving on. The cactus. Have no idea like what he does. So F tier as well. I mean, like, why would I ever use this on my team? Like, I could have this guy. I could have this guy. Or, you know, start with Trico. It's just like, I would even pick this guy over him. Forgot his name though. Never learned the name of this character. Anyway. Okay, Altaria. Generally, like, on the sickness scale of dragon type Pokemon, there's like the, you know, there's like the Garchomps and the, you know, Hydreigon on the high end of that list. And on the lower end, it's like Dragonite and Altaria. So I would have to put this kind of lower down. Maybe I would spare it from being worse than Sableye though. I mean, the design is very interesting, but like they didn't give it an evolution, even though it really looks like it deserves one. Okay, next. whatever this thing is. I remember it being sort of strong in a gym battle, or like fighting against the villains, but not impressed. It's kind of one of those like you just forget their name, so whatever. This guy's like a worse version of Ekans. Bad design. I think there was a duel battle with these guys, but very forgettable. Also just like not that interesting. I mean, maybe like, nah, never mind. They need to give like these Pokemon evolutions. Like, they can't just have them stay in one state the whole time. It's too boring. Like maybe like he evolves into, you know, the moon evolves into the sun. That'd be interesting, and he's like more better designed, I would guess, if they were able to do that. Okay, next, Whiskash, I think is the name. It's good that he reminded me by putting the W on the forehead. Okay, so I would put this in not B tier. It doesn't even deserve B tier. Maybe like low C tier. Probably actually like there. I mean, very interesting design though. Like, kind of like Psyduck. Actually, there. That's better. Maybe even higher than the Sumo Wrestler. Okay. Next, the Crawfish. I think it's like it's fine, but not too great. Why would you ever pick it over like, I don't know, the King Crab from Gen 1? I don't know. I guess you wouldn't. So down you go. I mean, I did say like in the comment section of the previous video that I would move them down to like maybe C or D tier, the crabs. So here I would say this is actually a good place for it to fit in. Okay, now we move on. Whatever this thing is, the porcelains. I think this color design is okay, and the shape is fine. But it's kind of unclear what exactly the purpose of it is. It looks like one of those, you know, very tricky Pokemon. So, but also it looks like it has no attack stat, like really low attack. So, it would probably just like inflict you with like hypnosis and then do some weird stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why they made this. I think actually they had like ruins in the game, so that's why they had it. Okay, anyway. Now we have the fossil Pokemon. I don't really know like what this guy even does, but the design is pretty bad. So there we go. This guy is actually pretty interesting. So maybe like there. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what the stats on these guys are, so never use them on my team. Okay, moving on. Forgot what this is called. It was in a lot of games though, because it's, you know, it's very popular for being looking similar to Dragonair, but being a final evolution. I think the name started with M. Whatever. Solid design. I'd put it, you know, I don't really have as much experience with it as I do with Gardevoir, because like you need a psychic type and you might as well pick Gardevoir, but like here it's like a water type, and it's also I think pretty late into the game that you'd be able to access it. So by that time, I think you might already have something else. Also, I think leveling it is really annoying, and even finding it in the first place is also really hard. So, yeah, not that interested in it. Okay. But the idea of transforming from like, the very like ugly looking fish into like this sea snake or whatever, it's very interesting. Um the weather person, I don't even know. Bad design. Put it next to whatever this guy is. Kecleon, I would say is very cool. Up there. Where was I? Okay. This ghost thing evolves into that. Okay. So this is like the talking doll archetype or stuffed animal, whatever it is. Let's see. Where would I place it? Probably in front of these guys. Because, it does look like pretty creepy. But still interesting. Okay, next. The mummy? I would put it pretty low. Although the previous evolution is pretty solid. Well, I can't put it in front of like any of these guys. So I guess like the horror genre of dark type and ghost type. In front of this porcelain thing, maybe. Maybe after, yeah. Let's see, do any of these actually deserve to be below them? I guess like Roselia should, and the crawfish should be higher. I guess I would do that. And then move these guys down. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. The forgot what it's called. And I'm talking about the dinosaur name. Oh, okay. Stegosaurus with leaves on it and a banana at the head. Let's see. I think it's called like Tropo something. But anyway, I would put this, pretty high, but very sad that it doesn't have, a previous evolution. That way there would be more kind of a dynamic feel to the Pokemon. Like when you go on your Pokemon journey, you don't want to have like the Pokemon that you caught later on that was just like a really high level and it looked cool. You would want like the Pokemon that with your time and effort grew into something very interesting. So I would have to put this around here. Yeah. But if it did have a previous stage, I would probably put it above Electrike, whatever this guy is. Okay. Okay. Whatever this is, I don't think it should exist. Okay, now this Absol is very solid. And it's one of those like I can accept it not being not having a previous stage. Because like when you think about the game, Absol is one of like the more iconic characters, not, the dinosaur. And it kind of seems like it could be just one stage, so I would actually put it pretty high actually. Maybe like here. The sickness scale of the design is also very high. Alright, next. Where's Wobbuffet? Oh, they added the previous baby stage of Wobbuffet. I think that's okay. I mean, it's not like adding Pichu. because Pikachu is already like decent as a you know, first stage. Or Pikachu could just be a standalone Pokemon with no stages and it would still be fine. Okay, this rice ball or sticky rice, whatever this thing is, Dorito. Just put it in F tier. We have to reorganize the F tier at the end of the video though. Okay, let's get a move on then. This thing, I would say the design is pretty cool. So I put it up there. But if I were to use an ice type, I would probably still choose something from like Gen 1, like, I don't know, Lapras or something. Not this guy. He doesn't even evolve, so. Also, the design is like, I mean, it's pretty cool on its own, but it would be nice if it had some other stages to help with that. Okay, Spheal and then turning into the Walrus, I think is very solid actually. It's much better ice type than whatever that is. So this would have to go in, you know, high B tier, low A tier. I think there is a good spot. Or maybe there, no. Because I don't think you get access to Spheal very soon. Because if you had access to it in like, you know, maybe like the first couple levels of the game, like let's say you got access to Spheal at like level 13 or something, and you caught it by, I don't know, fishing or something else, like an event where like someone gives it to you, kind of like Lapras. In that case, I would say a lot of people would definitely be able to pick it up and then use it. But if you only get access to it on the later stages, you kind of lose the impact of even having the first stage at all. So, yeah, I don't think it's that great. That's why it's in high B tier, not low A tier. Although this might not be true, like any of the stuff I just said. I'm just kind of assuming because I don't remember having access to Spheal at like level 13. I remember it might have been like level 30 or 40 that I first saw it. So that's just my impression though. Alright, anyway. The seashell, the clam thing, I think that's another baby stage they added for like the cloister or something. Yeah, I don't see any point in having this at all. Okay. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was the stuff before that. So it was like the clam went to the oyster, and before that, now they're adding this. So I don't see any point in having it. Okay, this thing is like kind of a weird design. Like I know they wanted like a creepy eel for when you use dive, but like this is not it. Yeah. This thing, I don't really know what it does. Probably another thing you encounter when you get access to dive. That's what I'm assuming. I'd put it in, you know, this tier. Okay. Moving on. This fish. Probably another thing you get when you dive. I don't see the point in having this. I mean, the design is pretty cool though. It's like sort of camo, like, I don't know, like the army pattern pants, but not great. It'd be nice if it were like the same situation as Milotic, where it becomes something like really cool. Like for example, you know, like a larger, more threatening fish Pokemon or something. Or like maybe even like the same sea snake deal, but just like more sharp, I guess. Okay, Love Disc, another Pokemon with only one stage. I don't know why they keep adding these. I mean, I'm saying that as if like this was like a new Pokemon, but I mean, I guess it has been an issue for a while then. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, this line, you go from like Bagel to Salamence. I think that's called Bagel, the name. Salamence, definitely like S tier. Probably better than Blaziken in my opinion. Okay, Metagross, also S tier. Wow, they really put all of them next to each other. Okay, now the Regis. So, Reggie. Okay, which one's the best? Let me see. Which one would I choose to use? Let's see. I like Rock the most, and then Steel, and then Ice. Yeah. Because Reggie Ice seems very disproportionate. It's not really like matching with. Because the middle is too large. I feel like the shape is wrong. Yeah. Okay. But where would I put them? Probably like. I've never been too interested in legendaries because it's like, oh, of course, you know, you're gonna like the legendaries. And I think these are sort of added for no real reason. Maybe to like pair up with Regigigas, but there is no Regigigas in this tier list. Was it even in this generation? I don't know. Actually, they don't even deserve to be in A tier because like the design is kind of crap. Now that I think about it, probably like low B tier. If they weren't legendary, I might even consider C tier. Actually, they are that bad. They're not even as good as the tree fighting. Probably like here. Actually, I would do this. Yeah, that's how bad they are. Okay. Next, Latios. I would say very cool, like jet plane Pokemon. Uh, although it does vary enough from like a jet where you can maintain something like the Pokemon-ness of it. I put it there actually. Okay, I'm just gonna put them in the same place anyway. Kyogre, Groudon, okay, very solid. Definitely like great design. Because they varied it enough from a whale where it's very interesting. Okay, which one's better though? I think the better one deserves to be an S tier. Okay, so pretty sure Groudon's based on like a lizard. But Kyogre has a better design in my opinion. Yeah. Feels like they just started drawing like the circular shapes and then like I think they first created the shape and then they started drawing circles and like symbols on it to make it look ancient. Um but Kyogre does a good job of like not overdoing it like Groudon does. So yeah, I'm gonna put it like that. Okay, next. Okay, Rayquaza. Also great. The dragon Pokemon that has been long awaited. I'd put it maybe even like the highest tier because it's just so hype when you see it, especially Mega evolved version of it. Okay, all of these guys I don't really have too much experience with. I think this is called like something teeny, but I like the design, I guess. So probably here. So like this is the cutoff where the design kind of becomes like strange. I guess like there are some exceptions. Like this guy is actually very interesting. I might put him in B tier actually. Okay, so I think I actually like this design a lot. Let me move it over here. Okay, the nose should go down. Like there. Okay, maybe not even in C tier, maybe like high D tier, I guess. Okay, but anyway, the design sort of just like falls off after a point. Like maybe like after these guys, like maybe starting in C tier, all the designs start to become like very unusual. Sort of like uncanny or uncreative. One of those. I mean like not conflating them, but like it's either unoriginal or it's like very uncanny. Like Reggie Ice is sort of both because they wanted to make like a cool, um Titan Golem type of character. But they ended up with like a really strange looking block of ice that was really disproportionate for the feel they were trying to go for. I guess like maybe they were trying to go for threatening, but they actually got like very derpy. So that's unfortunate. Because they could have been like very cool if they had more, like human shapedness. Like for example, Reggie Steel and Reggie Rock are pretty good. Actually, maybe it's more like this. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna put all of them together, in this form. Deoxys, named after DNA. I'd put this. I mean, like, I don't really like the design, but it is still legendary. I kind of feel bad about making it B tier, although it is pretty mid. Yeah, I'll just put it there. Actually, I like this more because this feel line is pretty solid. Okay, I think that's all the Pokemon. The groups. Okay, now we have to reorganize. Because last time, somehow Krabby ended up in like B tier, higher than some other Pokemon that definitely didn't deserve that. Okay. So let's move the butterfly up to C. Maybe low B tier actually. Mawile, I'm starting to like feel like it's actually a pretty good design because it is pretty creative. It's like creepy, but still in like a acceptable Pokemon way. Whereas I think the doll here with like the zipper for a mouth has gone a bit far with the red eyes. Whereas this is more like, oh, it's kind of creepy because you wouldn't expect the mouth to be in the hair, but it is still like very normal looking. Okay, and then let's regroup F tier. So definitely Camerupt maybe doesn't deserve to be an F tier. Maybe more like D tier. Like there. And this guy too. Probably not F tier, although it is Whismer, so let's keep it there. The Fireflies maybe not F tier, although they are kind of pointless. I guess maybe there would be okay. Torkoal definitely doesn't deserve to be that low. Maybe like here. Yeah. This guy actually looks okay now that I'm looking at it. So does this guy. This guy's still pretty bad though. The pig, Pretty sure this guy didn't exist in the original game. I just never seen anyone use it or like seen it in the game. So Viper is total trash. Maybe even okay, whatever. Maybe just like middle of F tier. This guy, something Dilly, I think was the name. Totally pointless design. This guy maybe goes even worse. This is actually okay design. It's like a wind chime, which is fine. This is also okay. It's like a, I don't really know what it is, but it's fine. I've actually always hated the sun and the moon Pokemon because they were just like rocks, which was kind of boring. This guy maybe goes higher than them in that case. Yeah, I think now let's look at D tier. So the Pelican, I think I might have put it too low. Slacking also. Also this. This guy's actually very interesting, so I'm gonna put him up there. The nose has started to fall in my favor of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it there. Maybe even over here. Oh yeah, I just grabbed the wrong one. Oops. Okay. Yeah, maybe next to these guys fit together. Okay. Yeah, I think this is solid. I feel like these guys should actually be even lower though. The golems, because like they really don't live up to the hype. I'm just gonna put them in this tier. And this guy feels worse than he did before. Because I remember seeing him in a diamond. Yeah, I don't like it. I would even put him after this fish. Because this fish had a big potential. Okay. Yeah. I think that's good. Actually, this guy probably deserves to be higher up. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Thank you guys for watching my tier list video, and see you guys next time.